stuff. You're going to have thoughts on this.
I know so many great single women. So many great single women. I don't know where all the dudes are. I'm like, guys, come on. Come on, guys. Make the first move. Just come on. But man, they just...
the first move is become a great single guy. That's a big move, right?
Stop. We're playing. Where are the guys? Stop. Okay. My thoughts on this, you guys don't know where I'm going to go on this. No. She's saying there are all these female women that are great, and there's so many guys that are like why aren't the guys initiating? Why aren't the guys making any moves? I'll tell you why. Because everything we say to you is screenshotted and sent to all your group of friends. Every time we do something on the internet, there's TikToks about the icks that we do that we didn't do it right. Every time we don't end it correctly, this guy ghosted me. This guy broke up with me. This guy's a jerk. There's all these Facebook groups are like, hey, Nashville girl, are we dating the same guy? Like every guy is terrified of the landscape of all of this. And I should say, caveat, there are bad dudes out there. But it's like when they were like, we got it, all these commercials on the Super Bowl are offensive. This is not funny. This is offensive. We're getting canceled. And then all the brands go, okay. And then they're like, where are the funny commercials? You're like, dude, it's like, McDonald's is like, we're going to raise minimum wage $25 an hour. They're like, all right, we'll just have one person there and have a machine. They're like, dude, what? Like, this is the cause of all of y'all. It's the same with politics is the same. They're like, I feel like every dude, I'm in a relationship, but every dude, I'm sounding like the girl from the last video. I don't have a problem for you guys. I feel like sometimes I've seen like my girlfriend and their friends are like, dude, just outing this guy. I look at it on TikTok on the way over here. Maybe I still have it pulled up on my TikTok about the list. Have you ever seen those like list of icks?
Yes.
They like add it. Don't hula hoop. Don't ride a scooter. Don't get hurt. Don't drink from a straw. Don't tie shoelaces. Don't wear swimming goggles. Don't be a bum. Don't call a girl a female. These are all things that there's a list of thousands of these. And a guy wants to be in a relationship and wants to find love just as much as a woman. And all these women are like, why aren't guys nobody wants to say anything on the dating apps because there's like whole feeds be like, this is the wild things guys are saying to me. And I understand there's bad guys, but you can't have both of these. And I feel like there's a lot of women that are like, where are all the guys at? And then at the same have like, after a date goes bad, get on TikTok and blast the guy. Mm-hmm. There was a girl that I was interested in. I've talked about on this before. Yeah. I was interested. I thought she was attractive. I asked her, I took her out. I saw her post about her ex and I deleted her number. I'm good on that. And I think guys are just terrified of this whole landscape. Like, and I know a lot of guys, if you're talking about that last clip, people being insecure to make friends. They're like, dude, I'm not even going to go to a bar unless you got to get hammered to like get up the courage to walk over to a woman because she's going to be there. There's a lot of stuff we talk about on this podcast, but there's a ton of stuff we don't because it's not appropriate. It's interpersonal. It's about your family. It's about your relationship. It's about mine. So it's not for everybody, but I feel like there's so many loud people on the internet asking where are all the guys, and at the same time having this content and social media to me is heavily full of this. And now they're asking this, and I'm just saying you can't have both.
Yeah.
Y'all thought I was lying when I said women are ruining dating. There's no cap in my rap. The more y'all post story times, dates, blast men, embarrass men, the less men are going to want to date. So do not interact with those posts. Do not post story times about your ex and all of this stuff. You messing it up. You heard what he said. Y'all thought I was crazy when I said it. And he ain't. So you can't be like, oh, it's the black man. This is a regular YT man. Well, he ain't regular. That's John Chris, but. And he's 41. So he ain't young. I'm just saying, y'all. We trying to tell y'all. Ain't no cap in my rap now.
It sucks because LA is literally just full of pretty. All they know how to do out here is put on a good fit, take a cute fit pic. I don't know, like these men are just not the men that you really want to settle down with for real. So looking for a real like a real manly man. I have to go down south. I gotta go on the East Coast for that because LA.
The devil couldn't reach me, so instead he sent me a guy who doesn't let slide. The devil couldn't reach me, so he sent me a guy who listens to every word I say and kindly holds me to it. What? The devil couldn't reach me, so he sent me a man who's gentler on me than I've ever been on myself. So he sent me a man who calls me out without tearing me down. The devil couldn't reach me, so he sent me a man who doesn't let me get away with trying to be too tough. The devil couldn't reach me, so he sent me a guy who sees right through all my little deflection tactics. The devil couldn't reach me, so instead he sent me a man who makes me reflect on all the times I could have been a bigger person. The devil couldn't reach me, so he sent me a guy who doesn't get scared off when I overwhelm myself by signing up for too much and then have a little bit of a meltdown.
Men never understand why women are afraid of them until you tell them to hold other men accountable. Then all of a sudden it's, why am I confronting random men? I can end up hurt. I can end up unalived. So can we. And that's why we scared, y'all. Y'all don't even want to confront them. Why do y'all think we do?
You're thinking you said something, but you actually didn't. Men be telling you to stay out of people's business, stay out the way, and giving you parameters. But what y'all say is a man is controlling and he's manipulative, and y'all are going to do whatever you want to do. So you get in that man's face and you find out that that man isn't playing with you and he's not playing with me either. I told you I'm not going over there, but you decided to go.
This is why so many men turn into red pill, because they started off with good intentions. Oh, I'm going to be good. I'm going to be faithful to this woman. I'm going to go work a 9 to 5 and I'm going to try, to do right. But then the woman does, her eyes be wondering because he don't have enough money. He chasing too early. He chasing before he got his own bag. Then they take it personally and say all women this and all women that. Da 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 da. No, all women like comfort. Most women like providers. Most women seek someone who can, not make them live in struggle up.
Okay. So if I'm going to have to pay the bills and get my money up, are you going to cook and clean?
How long is your longest relationship?
I think it was 5 years.
5 years? 5 years long?
Yeah.
How long ago did it end?
2 years ago.
And which one of you ended it?
Me.
Why?
I didn't want to be in it.
Why?
It's a long story, but
no, make it quick. You weren't feeling it?
Like I wasn't happy. It wasn't it. He didn't bring out my happiness, or we didn't just match. I don't know. It wasn't it. Mm-hmm.
How'd you end it?
I just told him that it's not working. I was dropping him off at work.
About how far from work?
Probably I don't know. That was 2 years ago. I honestly don't remember.
It was a 5-year relationship.
No, but I have selective memory. So probably it wasn't that far. Probably another 10, 15 minutes to his job.
You need to start asking women how their relationships end. And I want you guys to understand, this one was in a 5-year relationship and she ended it in a cold, callous way. The man was on.
Sorry. Okay.
You think it's appropriate for a 5-year relationship to be driving somebody to French toast ass work, and they got to have that on their mind while they're at work? See, I told you modern women are cowards. They don't deal with conflict, and when they're done with you, they get rid of you.
That's a funny one. Selective memory. I remember things selectively. Exactly. Like all of the things that he did wrong and all of the things that you supposedly did right.
I personally feel like the ideals of love in this day and age are just not realistic. Like, we're literally living in times where you need 2 people working in a household. You might even need 3 at this point. And unless you're a millionaire. And you still be wanting the moon, the stars, this galaxy, that fucking planet, this planet. Oh, did you forget those stars over there? And not have to lift a finger. Can you imagine if roles were reversed and that was on us? Suicide rate would be up. Do you hear me? Barely want to clock into for their 8-hour shift. Mind you, I didn't even want to clock in for the 4. But here we are. So I'm just saying, like, I feel like we need to put ourselves in their shoes sometimes. Like, I get it. Definitely want a manly man, someone who's going to go out there and work and actually try to provide for the fam bam. But I understand that I'm going to have to do my part too. So, like, I just feel like there's unrealistic expectations. Unless you're about to go get you a multi-millionaire, I just don't see how y'all feel like this is going to work. And that's just being honest.
And the thing about it is, there's a lot of women that realize that they're going to have to do work and they're going to have to build something with a man. The only problem is some of these ladies get back online and they hear this foolishness about, oh, this is your reminder to never settle. I got my man doing this, he's doing that, and be on a yacht. That's not your life. Some of these ladies be lying, and then it throws them back in the loop.
One thing's for sure that I had to learn, as a woman who've never cheated on a guy in my life, these men like when you play in their face. They like when they're competing with other dudes. They don't like when you're faithful and loyal. They think you are stupid.
I'm telling you right now, this is not going to work like you think it is.
Women will say to me, why do I have to pretend like I'm dumb to appease a man? He should love that I'm smart and like intelligent and that I'm capable and whatever. But then these same women will come to me and they'll be like, Lexi, I'm in a relationship with this man and he never does anything for me. He never like lifts a finger for me. I do all the work. I do everything. And I asked like, okay, well, from the beginning of the relationship, did you always say, I can do it myself? I don't need your help. Do you tell him what he's done for you is wrong? Do you criticize him? And it's always like, yeah. Okay. So if you've done all that, why is he going to help you if you can do everything yourself? Why would he help you if you criticize everything he does anyway? Why would he help you if you can do it better than him? Why would he, you know what I mean? You're already shutting things down, you know? And I remember like many years ago, I was at a friend's house and I was visiting and I was about to go to the airport and I was taking my luggage out to the car and she came outside and she was like, what are you doing? Like, there's men inside who can do that for you. And I was like, it's fine, I can do it myself. And she was like, just because you can doesn't mean that you should. And that like always stuck with me, you know? So
Y'all got it. Y'all too strong and independent. Let me go sit down.
Be meaner to men. I am not joking. I am telling you this as someone who has dated for a while without letting men disturb my peace. I don't do yelling, I don't do chaos, and silence is my automatic default. I sleep like a baby at night because I center my peace and only my peace. I am selfish and I have zero problem with that. Like, my time and my energy and peace are my most valuable assets. But the wildest part of being mean to men is that they love that shit. When you stop entertaining their dumb shit, you find the real ones real quick because they don't flinch. They see it and they're like, challenge accepted. They're not thrown by your standards, they're not confused by your boundaries, they're meeting you where you are. Not that you give a shit anyway, because it's their job to prove that they can exist within your world. And when I say mean, I don't mean unhinged, although girl, if that's what you want to do, I got your back. What I'm saying is I don't giggle, I don't decode, I don't think, what did they mean by that? I don't get curious, I cut to the chase. For instance, if he's late, I tell him that doesn't work for me. If he doesn't confirm plans the day before, he's not considering my time. So when he finally does text you, say, I'm sorry, I've made other plans. And if I see even the slightest hint of a red flag, I will immediately stop and say, what do you mean by that? And if it's a deal breaker, I say it right there. I don't argue, I don't ever explain, I just say this is what it is. Because my standards and boundaries are not up for debate. And the best part is it weeds out the weak ones. Let them go back to their little roster of Instagram girls that keep them comfortable and let them stay lazy and unevolved. Let them go back to the little leagues. They just told you that they're not good enough for your league. So this works if you're dating or in a relationship. Like, be meaner, center your peace, be short, don't over-explain, stop doing all that stuff. Your life will literally change.
Well, I don't think a lot of men have a problem with you setting boundaries. I think most men get antsy when you say, I'm going to be selfish and that's just what it's going to be. That's another form of, I don't bring anything to the table. You just sit here, pay this bill like a good little boy, and you'll play second fiddle to me your entire life. That reinforces the things that they've been hearing and the ways they've been treated throughout their entire life. You're going to always play second fiddle to me, and you're never going to get anything out of this. What man is going to want to be a part of that relationship?
Men, one of the best ways to tell how much a woman likes you is to see how available she is. Because if a woman really likes you, she will be available. And what do I mean by that? I mean, she's going to say, yeah, let's get together whenever you want, whatever's convenient for you. She will make herself available. She wants to be with you. And she's going to be happy to just do whatever you want. If you want to go hang out and park somewhere and just talk, she'll be grateful. If you want to just go pick up a quick bite at Chick-fil-A or something, she's going to love it. But if she's not sure about you and she hasn't made up her mind whether she likes you or not, guess what? Her availability isn't going to be quite as open as if she really did. So that's one way to tell if she really, really digs you. It's my opinion. What do you guys think?
Pickup lines these days are worse than ever, truly. Last night, this guy came up to me and he goes, hey, yeah, so I have a hot tub. I got a hot tub at my place, so no big deal. I was like, that, a hot tub? A tub that's hot? What? Oh, you're the one, baby. You are the one. Are we for real?
You know, sometimes some of these women will do this thing to where they'll act appalled that a man has approached them a certain way and how dare he. And then you do a little bit more research to find out, oh, they're actually on the same type of time. She moved to the Hamptons for the summer. She's an actress/model. What are you doing in the Hamptons in the summer? I don't know. Maybe trying to be seen by some celebrities? Maybe trying to live the high life just a little bit, the life of the rich and famous just a little bit. So if a man were to walk up to you, a Chad type, an F-boy, and say, hey, you want to go hang out in my hot tub? That doesn't seem like a stretch given the vibe and the type of time that you're on.
So he surprised me with tickets to the Braves game, and he said that we were right up front. We're not even that close. Like, we're like literally so far away. It's not that close. You said we're gonna be right there. Is this close?
That poor man is just gulping his beer the second that she starts talking. Like, I think he realizes, guys, that he obviously has an ungrateful girlfriend. Because that is close. Like, I've been to ball games, and that is definitely a close seat. And even if it wasn't, who the heck cares, other than somebody that cares a lot about status? Could you imagine what she would say about an engagement ring? Like, we all know, and I think he knows, he should know, hopefully he knows, that nothing would satisfy. Oh, you know, because her frenemy from 10 years ago has a bigger diamond. And even if they're in a relationship like 6 months down the road and she starts wondering and asking why he doesn't ever do things for her anymore, this is exactly why. Because you didn't appreciate it, because nothing was ever good enough. That is why if you want a man that does nice things like this for you, you gotta learn how to appreciate it.
You know what I've noticed about men on dating apps? They will shoot their shot with anyone, like they don't care. Like, you gotta know who's on your level in terms of attraction. For me, like, I know I'm not the most attractive thing in the world. I know my limits. The other day, I was showing one of my friends, the guys who've liked me on Hinge. And she was like, wait, do they think you're actually gonna say yes? Like, 100% I respect the confidence, because for me, if I scroll through Hinge and I see someone who's like super hot and clearly out of my league, I would not try to shoot my shot. I would not even trying to send them a rose or trying to match with them. Like, we're not on the same level. And I gotta find someone that's on the same level as me and who's gonna like me back. And I don't think men are like that. And they're like, oh, if I see something that I really like, I'm just gonna shoot my shot. I'm gonna try it out and see if it's gonna work.
And this is how some of the ladies think. And if this is the way that men were thinking, then there would be a lot of single women, a lot more than there already are.
Listen, this is something that we do to hot women, that we make them think that it's all right to do and say crazy things, and then one day they're not hot anymore and they have to like live like everybody else and they kind of don't understand what happened. I seen it happen to guys too, but I'm 5'7", so I hang out with other 5'7s. The talls, they congregate with each other, and tall equals hot in guy. But my friend who's a female, she's been smoking hot most of her life, and then 3 years ago she gained like 30 pounds. Well, she's only like 5'2", so that's a lot for her. And here's the thing, she's still pretty, but she used to be a baddie. But she's still really pretty, and she's really fun to hang out with, and she's fun to be around. But every once in a while, she'll just go nuts because she feels like she has to do or say something crazy to know that she's the hottest girl in the room. And as cute as she is, she's not hot enough to pull that off anymore. Like, your hot don't match your crazy. And we did that to her, that's what I'm saying.
To all the women who say all men, does that include your sons? If you are a mom of male children and you believe that all men are bad, all men are horrible, does that include your sons? And I am curious to ask, did that include the man that you became pregnant by? Or is he the reason why you're saying all men? Because I'm just trying to wrap my head around, if it's all men, then why did you get pregnant in the first place? And if it's all men, when your children are included in the all, whose fault is it? Whose fault is it that your son became a part of the all men? Well, his daddy wasn't there, which is why we probably shouldn't have had a baby by him. And then when you decide that because that man hurt you, you'll never be with another man, you rob that child of an opportunity to have any kind of father figure. So when y'all say it's all men and your son becomes one of the all men, do you recognize that you are the reason why? Sometimes. Because listen, some of these kids out here are just horrible because they want to be horrible. But have y'all ever thought about that?
Women and men have life the same. Let's go 50-50. Okay, Chad, did you have to go through 2 boxes of tampons in the last 2 days? Sit clutched to a heating pad? Get another packet of pads so you don't wreck your bed? Have to push through work when you didn't sleep because you're up with pain? Have no one give you a subway seat when you're about to pass out? Meanwhile, the men are sitting there man-spreading. And then that's just a week of the month. Fast forward to all the other days of the year where you walk around feeling unsafe. You walk around having men constantly try to push your boundary. You have to fight. You have to fight and claw your way to just a little tiny ounce of respect in the workplace. And then you say, workplace, I'll do it myself, and see that it's a million times even harder to get people to respect you as a business owner. So you know what, Chad? You can buy my little $11 cocktail on a first date so I can see if you have baseline empathy or not, to see if I want to be around a man that does not inherently understand how the world treats women. And that's without even going near the stats and statistics on how women are treated with controlled, disrespected. So shut the fuck on your little podcast.
You know, some of you ladies think that y'all are the main character in everybody's story. So you think what you're going through is worse than everybody else. But once you come back to reality, you'll understand that men have to put up with quite a lot with other men and you, and still have to grind through all of it just to make your life comfortable. So you can sit up here and talk about nonsense that you want to talk about.
I watched this video on, I think it's called The Diary of a CEO. And this woman was basically saying women need to give short men a chance. And I'm like, isn't it funny how they're never telling men they need to give like heavier women a chance? Because men will not listen to you when that you tell them that they have to accept certain things. It's okay as a woman to not want a man that's shorter than you. It's okay to value attraction as a woman. First and foremost, I was attracted to my husband when we were dating because we had the same values. But also, we could have had the same values, and if I didn't find him attractive, I wouldn't have kept dating him. Attractiveness did matter to me. I don't know why people pretend like women are supposed to like be like saints, like, oh, we don't have it. Attraction doesn't matter to us. It does to a lot of us. I found my husband attractive, and I still find him insanely attractive. It's always made it like hard for me to keep my hands off of him. People need to stop telling women to like lower their standards. Oh, you need to give a guy a chance even if you're not that attracted to him. Why? You would never tell men to do the same. You would never tell men to do that. Why do you want women to lower their standards, but men would never lower their standard? If a man isn't attracted to you, he's literally never going to take you seriously. Romantically, that is. That would be like telling men, like, date a woman that doesn't have the body type that you're attracted to. Literally not gonna happen. I don't know why people like they're saying that there's so much problems in the dating world, that there's a male loneliness epidemic. Why is it on women to solve that? Why would we be the ones that need to lower our standards? It's okay if attractiveness matters to us. There's nothing wrong with wanting your partner to be attractive in your eyes.
You don't have to date a man that you're not attracted to, but a man that's 5'7" and you're 5 feet tall would be just fine for you.
I have found myself, and I'm growing and learning, but moment of transparency, right? I can play the victim when he is addressing something that he has issues or concerns with. My feelings get hurt. I don't intend to. It's not my intention. Like, I'm not intentionally being the victim. But if someone shines a mirror back at me and says, hey, these are things that you're doing or not doing that are affecting me and I don't like it, it hurts my feelings because I feel like I have failed. All right. Recently,
you came to me and said that there were some things on your mind, some things that were bothering you that you felt like you could not talk to me about because I became the victim and he didn't want to hurt my feelings. And that made me feel even worse. That made me feel horrible because, again, we pride ourselves on having this open communication and being able to talk to each other. And for him to say basically that he felt like this wasn't a safe space really hurt me, but it also humbled me and made me really think about and consider who I am as a partner, who I am as his wife. Is this a safe space? Have I created a safe space for him? I think if we can't, as individuals, take that reflection that our partners, our friends, or whoever are shining back on us and actually address the issues, we not only fail our partner, our romantic partner, our friends, our colleagues, etc., then we fail ourselves. We have to be able to take that criticism and grow and fix it and try to do better with it. I don't know that we had a further conversation about it. You did eventually let some of it out. I don't know that you've let all of it out, but I have made a point to recognize when I am becoming the victim in a situation, when I am allowing my emotions to overshadow the emotions that someone else is trying to express to me, because it's not okay and it's a poor form of communication. I'm turning around and making it about me when it's not about me. It's about the person that's talking to me. It's about where they're coming from and what they're trying to express. And I have to be able to sit there and allow it. Because sometimes not sometimes, most of the time, it's not you, right? It's not me. It has nothing to do with me. This is you expressing yourself, and I need to take it in and do whatever I need to do with it.
And I'll give you this. You can go in the other room and say, hey, I want to give myself time to cool off, but I wanted to say, I'm sorry for X, Y, and Z. And this is what I was thinking. This is how I felt. I want to try again to listen to what you're saying and take it all in. Thank you for bearing with me. Most men understand that because it's you acknowledging that you're trying to be better in understanding his feelings and emotions and him opening up to you. But some of these ladies, they're not worried about that. They just worried about you listening to what they got going on and following suit.
I saw this video of a guy saying, I want to make your life less stressful. And if that means that I am planning dates and I am paying for the dates, maybe I'm taking you to get your nails done. If that makes your life less stressful, that's how I want to be involved in your life. And that hit me because where are those men? Where are the men who understand that when they step up and they lead and they have purpose and they have intention and they have integrity, like, that relaxes a woman. Having that type of character will relax a woman instantly. Allowing a woman to be soft and just there and present in your presence and having you do the date and pay for the freaking meal without complaining that you have to pay for the meal because you're treating her. Like, those are the types of men who I think probably get a lot of second, third, fourth, like they're the ones that are probably in relationships, which is really sad because there's 50% of the single people out there that are men. And so many men are broken. They're just hurt. They've been hurt by somebody before them and they don't know how to lead. They've never gotten a really good male role model. And they think that this red pill rhetoric of you've got to serve me is benefiting them, which it's not. We see that, with the whole concept of like male loneliness epidemic, which is not really a thing because they're all kind of banding together. So they're not really lonely. But the idea that men are so push-offish, they're like, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have empathy. I don't want to learn emotional intelligence. I don't want to be your safe place. I don't want to take care of you. I don't want to provide for you. I don't want to do any of that. And then they wonder why they can't find women that are soft and aren't bitter and aren't resentful and aren't argumentative because you're not giving her a safe space to be that soft feminine woman. So that guy nailed it. He nailed it. He understands. He doesn't want to be an extra stress in a woman's life. He wants to help be there to to take away stress from her. And if that means that he's planning dates and paying for the freaking dates, then that's what he's gonna do. Because to him, it's not about the money. It's about making a woman's life less stressful when he is around her.
I'm glad you said that, because I don't know who continues to talk about this male loneliness epidemic other than majority women. But with that being said, a lot of ladies ask a man to invest. I see you taking me out to dinner as an investment, a nice dinner where I can get dressed up and I can show you the best parts of myself. That's the makeup, that's the hair and all that other stuff. The problem is all of this niceties and stuff is fantastic. I love your beauty. I want you to stay that way. But at some point in time, I need a return on my investment. And that's not just looking like a model. That's helping me to elevate my life, what we've got going on together, so that we can both live a better life, a better future. And if we have kids, better life for our kids. Leave them something. Build a legacy. That's what men talk about.
Some of you might learn how to answer a question from your girlfriend, okay? Because when your girlfriend asks you, could I be on the cover of Vogue magazine? The answer is yes. Not just because that's the nice thing to say, but also because you should genuinely believe that. If you're dating someone, if you're in love with someone rather, you should think they're the hottest person in the world.
This is going to be a hot take, and I hope this guy still likes me because we're mutuals on this app, but I don't completely agree with this. I made a video a while ago where I said, personally, I've never understood why some people feel like they're entitled to being called like super physiologically attractive. Like a lot of people want to be called like a supermodel. And if you don't go into like their delusional reality and like say, yeah, totally, you're a supermodel, like you're being a bad person. And let me explain. As somebody who used to be a personal trainer in general, like the people that I hang out with compete in bodybuilding, and I've seen people do extreme dieting and all of these different things to achieve like the dream physique that they want. And a part of me does think it's a little bit entitled when I meet people that think that they are entitled to being called like, you know, a 10 out of 10 or a supermodel when they don't do anything to get that kind of title. I use this example every single time, but it is the same exact thing, in my opinion, as somebody who didn't study for a test the whole entire year. They messed up, they party every single day. And then you have person B who sat there and studied every single night. They don't go to parties. They didn't drink any alcohol. And guess what? At the end of the year, person B gets a good grade and person A gets a bad grade. So person B keeps getting called intelligent. And then person A is getting offended. Like, why is nobody calling me intelligent? I want to be called smart. I want to be called a genius, just like person B. Well, you see, person B did something to sacrifice so that they could get the acknowledgement for that thing. Now, I do agree, if your girlfriend asks you like, hey, you know, do you think I could be on the cover of Vogue magazine? Just say yes, you know, obviously. But what I do disagree with is the fact that he said, you should think your girlfriend could be on the cover of Vogue magazine. To me, it comes across like you're basically implying the only thing that can be valuable in a person when you're married to them or dating them is their beauty. Because listen, I know it's a nice thing to hear, but the reality is you're asking somebody to come into a delusional reality. If you sit there, you have fast food every day, you never go to the gym, and then you're asking them, hey, do you think I could be a supermodel? It's the same energy as me going to my girlfriend and saying, hey, do you think that I could beat LeBron James in a 1v1 in basketball? And then when she tells the truth and says, no, you would absolutely lose in a 1v1 to LeBron James. And I go, hey, you should think that I could beat him even though I really can't. No, LeBron James does things. He practices, he trains, he's been doing this every day, and I have not. I know plenty of happy married couples that have been married for 20, 30, 40 years, and they can equally acknowledge that, yes, there's other people that are more physically attractive than their partner, but at the end of the day, they are in love with their partner. Like, there's more to them than just their physical beauty. And I don't think people realize these people who get put on the cover of Vogue magazine, like obviously a lot of them are celebrities, but they do a lot of things to sacrifice to look at the way that they do. And to me, it comes across a little entitled if there's a metaphorical woman from Oklahoma who's 400 pounds overweight saying, do you think that I could be on the cover of Vogue? And if you say no, that you're a bad husband. So more of the story here is, yes, if your girlfriend, your boyfriend ever asks you, hey, do you think I'm a 10 out of 10? Do you think I could be on the cover of Vogue magazine? Obviously, just say yes, but making it seem like this boyfriend or this girlfriend or the metaphorical partner in this story is being a bad person, that they can acknowledge that there's amazing qualities about about this person. They love so many things about this person, but this person isn't a supermodel. And I can't beat LeBron James in basketball, and that's okay. And some of you might even be dating people that technically can be supermodels, but this is more for people that literally do nothing to work on themselves, and they think they're entitled to being called like a supermodel, or just somebody overall who sacrifices and spends a lot of time to look a certain way. There are other things that people can bring to the table besides the fact that they might not be a supermodel, but that is just my opinion. But hey, what do you think?
You guys really got to stop. We're living in a world of fantasy and delusion. I'm not Dave Chappelle. I'm not a comedian. Why in the world would I try to compare myself to him? Brother, you got to stop.
Men are literally trying to be you in a world designed for you and take your position. This is why men do not like strong women. Everything that you can do, your mentality, the way you think, they're trying to get to that level. They're trying to get to your capacity. So when they meet a woman like you who's a thinker, who's free-spirited, who is intelligent, who is intellectual, yeah, they'll listen to you. They might can keep you as a friend, but then you're going to surpass them so much they're going to get irritated and they're going to say fuck. A lot of the times. They probably have sex with you, thinking they're stealing your energy or some shit like that. They're not thinkers. Men don't have a womb. They can never be as intellectually smart and capable as a woman who's a free thinker and a free spirit. So, yes, 9 times out of 10, if they find a woman who is intelligent, they don't want to come home to someone like that. You're not wifey. Wifey is a dummy who, is not really going to surpass them, who really doesn't think, who really doesn't get turned off by real life and what's really going on in the world. They know the levels. And this is the thing about men. They are at a level that the government tells them they need to be at. And then every so often, every couple of years, they're like getting a new upgrade. Women were already there. A lot of free thinkers are already there. Men are being put on like a timer. Okay? So every couple of years, they may get an upgrade, because they've done some research on some women, and the higher ups and the elites don't want them to surpass them, but they have all the knowledge of a woman that they stole from us. That's why a lot of women are waking up. We're going to go really quickly. The ones who know are going to pick up on it really quickly. This is why I say stop focusing on a relationship, because you're going to miss your blessings, you're going to miss your upgrades, and you're going to miss your downloads when you're focusing on a woman. On a man. Men are literally trying to be you in a world designed for you to be the head. So, when you're dating someone like this, you're going to have to understand that. You already know what's going on. You already know. They are like AI. They're trying to surpass you. And to be with someone like that, knowing that they're trying to take your essence and your real natural nature, okay? So, yes, a lot of men aren't going to want you around to be wifey, because men aren't.
You really don't have to laugh at some of this foolishness that some of these ladies come up with. I mean, just a warped ideology to sit up here and say, I'm such a free thinker. I'm so far above a man. I'm so far ahead of a man, while standing in the parking lot that a man paved. He built it. While standing in front of a lawn that a man mowed. While standing and you can see the freeway back there. Guess what? A man built that too. When you get done talking and turning off your phone, you're going to walk into a building that, one, has plumbing installed by a man. Number 2, has air conditioning and heat. Guess what? Most likely installed by a man. And when you get tired and you need more brain power and you want to order those organic meals and buy those organic groceries, guess where you're going? To a grocery store built by a man. How are you going to get there? In a car or public transportation built and most likely designed by a man. To get the food most likely farmed by a man. To talk trash about men in a country that men fought to defend you from. And you know what's crazy about it? We just got through celebrating Memorial Day. We just got through. Foolishness.
Ladies, you're not picking wrong. There's just nothing to pick from, okay? Because I had to run a scientific experiment because I decided that I was sick and tired of hearing both male and female tell me that I'm picking wrong. It's just me, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. I got so sick and tired of hearing that I said to myself, I was going to run a scientific experiment so I can see and pinpoint exactly where everything is going left at for me to always be the one picking wrong. So for one summer, I decided that I was going to give every single guy my phone number. And I implore other women to do this just so you know that what you're seeing and experiencing is accurate. Because everybody will blame you and not the strangers that are approaching you. The strange men that are approaching you that you don't know, they will blame you as the woman, right? Because you're always wrong, apparently. So for this summer, I decided to give every single guy my phone number because a lot of times people act as though good men is in such an abundance. So if they're in such an abundance, if there are good men everywhere, clearly I should be able to meet one, right? Clearly. So for one summer, I decided that I was going to give every single guy my phone number. I think it was about 10 to 11 guys that approached me that summer, one or the other, 10 or 11. So I decided that it didn't matter where they came from. It didn't matter how tall they were. It didn't matter where they came from. It didn't matter. Their age didn't matter. Well, their age did matter because it had to be relative to my age. But basically, I gave every single one my number and there was almost no criteria just to see how it would have panned out. And of course, they all wanted the same things. They all wanted intimacy very early on and domestic labor. And favors, those three.
Y'all gonna hate me. So, in this woman's scenario, right? She gave her number to 10 or 11 men. All of them didn't check her boxes. All of them, they just wanted lustful things and favors and car rides and all the other shit she was talking about, right? And if 50 of y'all in the comment section agree, right, giving her the validation that she needed, right, blaming men again for your pickings, even at the end of the day, you still picked those 10 men, right? You gave your number to those 10 men, right? I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna ruffle a lot of y'all's spirit, but I really don't give a damn. A lot of y'all don't know discernment. A lot of y'all don't even know yourself enough to know the difference if a good man were to walk right in front of you. A lot of y'all don't even deserve a good man right now. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. A lot of y'all think y'all are ready or y'all are in this type of spirit or energy for a good man, and you're not. You're not. Y'all be crying to God and praying to God and giving it to God on why you can't find a good man. And I'm pretty sure God's probably telling y'all why y'all can't find a good man, but y'all don't want to listen. Y'all want to blame men on why you still can't find a good man. You really think there's no good men out here? As a matter of fact, for someone who has been married for 5 years, got out of a divorce, right? Got in a relationship with a good man, right? Didn't last, right? We had to go our separate ways. It is what it is. Got into another relationship with a good man. It didn't last. Again, over some, right? And now is, figuring out with another good man. So if I am one person coming in contact with 3 good men, where's the disconnect? Where's the, am I having a problem? Even though I'm finding good men? And a lot of y'all in the comments said exactly what I was going to say. You do attract what you are. If you are still coming across lustful men, if you are still coming across men that are not ready to commit, if you are still coming across men that is very inconsistent, if you are still coming across men that are disrespectful, ask yourself how you move so that within the way that these men see you. A lot of y'all don't even realize that y'all are probably an energy of chasing and not energy of attracting, right? A lot of y'all don't even realize that y'all don't even know y'all discernment. Again, I said it, your discernment. I would know for a fact, actually, not even for a fact. For many times I've been out in public and men have asked for my number and I say, no, I'm good. It's because of the fact that I know within my spirit and I know my discernment and I know myself to know that that man is not a good man for me. He is not going to treat me the way that I deserve to be treated. I already know that. A lot of y'all are not connected with yourself. A lot of y'all think y'all so connected to God, but yet you can't even understand the difference between a good man and an unhealed man that walks right in front of you. I could have told you, sis, those 10 or 11 men were not good men if I was right next to you. I would have been like, I don't know about that one. I don't think you should do that one. Don't give that one your number. So if I'm not having the problem that a lot of y'all are having a problem, whose problem is it really? Like, someone answer me, who's really the problem here?
It's crazy because these ladies will go to the supermarket or whatever part of their life that they have, that they're self-care, and pay close attention to make sure they're getting the most bang for their buck. Oh, I'm looking at the fruit. I'm holding it up. Does it look like this? Does it make this sound? Is it this? Is it that? To make sure they get the perfect fruit, the perfect vegetables. Because anything going inside my body needs to be perfect. And I'm taking care of myself. Self-care. Hey, I'm picking this therapist. I'm picking this masseuse or whatever it is. I'm picking this vacation. I'm curating this experience for myself. But all of a sudden, when it gets to a relationship, they fall all the way back. Oh, a man's going to have to pursue. He's going to have to do this. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not bringing nothing to the table. I'm going to sit here. I'm the table and all that other foolishness. And then you find out just handing your number to random strangers doesn't work. It doesn't work. And you're flabbergasted. I did an experiment where I handed my number to 10 random men and none of them, all they wanted the same thing. None of them worked. You probably didn't ask no questions. You probably didn't vet nobody properly. You probably didn't say, now, what makes you a good man? What makes you worth it to sit down and have a genuine conversation, to spend time with? Some of these young ladies don't be doing that.